Hey folks, this is BestInSlot with some exciting Jurassic World Evolution 2 news. Just as we did with the last gameplay session, I went around the internet / Reddit this morning and tried to find everything that you wouldn't have seen if you only checked out my gameplay session, and also stuff only mentioned in slightly lesser seen videos out there on the interwebs. There were so many people playing Evolution 2 in this gameplay preview session that, you throw enough people at the wall, something's bound to stick. Pretty sure that's the saying. So it means inevitably some things were discovered in one video that wouldn't be discovered in another. And all I've done is compile all those things for you in one handy dandy video. One Dead Dandy Man video. Pause for laughter. That probably doesn't make sense to people quite yet. Anyways, moving on, we're going to start with what is the most important. I'm going to link all of these videos down below. There's 5 different videos from 5 different YouTubers. All of these will be linked and referenced in the description down below. Go give them some love. This first one in particular, right now, as of right now, it has like 380 views, and yet it has the biggest news of the day, bigger than anything in my videos. This is a video from Geektown, and he played the game a little bit, sure, but he also interviewed game director Rich Newbold, who is now, overseeing the general direction and stuff for the game. So I'm going to link this video down below. Please go give it lots of love. 17 likes, 380 views right now. It should be in the thousands, this one. This is big deal news.
Then we kind of look at community favourites, community requested ones, since we've been making Jurassic World Evolution 1, ones that really appeal to us and have unique shapes. So the marine reptiles, we had things like the Elasmosaurus and the Lepleurodon, which have different shapes and unique shapes as well. So
just to confirm what you just heard, this is what Rich Newbold says. So we've been looking at community favourites, community requested ones, since we've been making Jurassic World Evolution ones that have unique models, like the Elasmosaurus and Lepleurodon, which have unique shapes. Elasmosaurus and Lepleurodon just casually name dropped in this interview. It's incredible. Personally, I did not expect any more Aquatics, other than what we think is probably a Tylosaurus, the mystery mosasaur that we saw the other week. But I suspect it's not a Lepleurodon. It would be a very funky shape for a Lepleurodon. So Elasmosaurus and Lepleurodon still yet to be revealed. This means our total dinosaur list, assuming everything makes it in from the past game. People are now debating whether all the Dr. Wu hybrids will make that cut, but either way, most dinosaurs are clearly going to make the return. It's really interesting because the total number is basically guaranteed to be, I'd say, a little decent amount above 80. I think we're looking more on the 85 mark. When the game initially said over 75 prehistoric creatures, I said to people, that could well mean the mid-80s. That's what it meant with Evolution 1. That's what it's going to mean with Evolution 2. They undersold it by about 10 or so in the initial previews. Either way, Elasmosaurus, Lepleurodon, very cool stuff. I apologise in advance for Lepleurodon because there will be a lot of Charlie jokes in my video. Because that was the kind of thing that was popular and funny when I was a teenager, so you're going to have to deal with it. Either way, big shout out to Geektown. Definitely go check out their channel and video, and let's move on. Quick little confirmation here from a Swerve video. I'm going to post the Reddit picture specifically, though, which is posted by Spared Some Expense 93, and they just screen capped this, and it basically shows Indoraptor confirmed. Now, we basically knew this was a thing, of course, but it's another confirmed dinosaur to throw onto the list. It's another one to guarantee. Speaking of new dinosaurs-ish, if we go to Dead Dandy Man, who you will recognise, by the by, as the maker of some of the best mods out there for Jurassic World Evolution 1, they managed to progress the Chaos Theory campaign further than I did. I completely ignored the guest comfort, and as you'll have seen, that leads to the deployment of Parasaurolophus and indeed Mamenchisaurus. So it's our first time seeing in-game the Mamenchisaurus, and its return from Jurassic World Evolution. Unfortunately, it still doesn't look like the Lost World version. I was really hoping that was something they would address, but what are you going to do? Either way, though, what we get to see is the very first Rex on sauropod attack. We knew this was coming. We'd heard in the past that Rex could now attack Brachiosauruses, and we see a clip from Dead Dandy Man, again video linked down below, where he puts his Mamenchisauruses with the Rex, because he's a monster, and the Parasaurolophus, frankly. The Rex sort of approaches Mamenchi. The Mamenchi does appear to sort of back away, back off, starts walking away, sort of semi-running, and the Rex lunges forward, bites onto the front leg, latches on, tries to tear at it and damage the Mamenchi, and Mamenchi's kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever. Just kind of walks it off, and Rex roars inane get. Maybe she just keeps on walking. Just not a care in the world. Rex kind of stands there just staring into nothingness, just sort of re-evaluating his life. So yeah, that's the Rex attack. That's how they're going to attack sauropods. I'm hoping that we'll see a bit more of a reaction. This is one of the big criticisms with the pack hunting on the Parasaurolophus, that it kind of just stood there waiting to die, rather than, you know, getting angry and stomping and making calls, or, you know, looking scared or attempting to run or anything like that. Again, we're not going to get into that today. But the Mamenchi, same kind of deal. It'd be nice if there was a bit more of a reaction to being a bit, you know, like a little kick out or something. But either way, it's cool to see what is essentially a failed hunt. The Rex goes after this big target, quickly realizes, you know what, this isn't bloody going to happen, and then does a runner. It'll be interesting to see how this hunt can be successful. We only see it fail, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that in the future. But shout out to Dead Andy Man for getting that clip. We're going to be sticking with the Rex now for basically the rest of the video, and we're moving over to the Lady Xyno, one of the best Planet Zoo YouTubers out there, but also doing some great Jurassic World Evolution 2 coverage now as well. And she was, as far as I saw, basically the only person who did a T-Rex breakout. I did a Velociraptor breakout, you saw that in my videos yesterday, but we actually have Rex breakout footage. Now, it does get paused a lot, so she can take some nice thumbnails, which is understandable, but we do get to see this Rex breakout in action. And again, the thing I want to emphasize more than anything else, it's more the beginning of this Rex guest attack, where the animation is smooth. Again, the guest, I mentioned this with the raptors, but the guest doesn't fall over. The guest is just running away, and the Rex charges forward, picks up the guest, swings it to one side, swings it to the other side. Hard to tell what's going on sometimes. And then, you know, basically does, you know, Rex things, essentially. But it's that smoothness, new word, smoothness of animation. You know, the guest doesn't fall over, it doesn't play this sort of auto-triggered, baked animation. It feels a lot more dynamic, wherein the guests are running in any direction, the Rex chases after them, swallows them up, and eats their face. It's good stuff. Speaking of the Rex eating things, though, this is possible. Look, the Elasmosaurus Leopleurodon is humongous news. It really is. However, we now need to hop over to a video by Zoof, and Zoof has a couple of really cool Rex animations that I want you guys to check out. So again, go check out that video down below. At the end, they have a Dino Cinematics section. You'll see Pachycephalosaurus, you'll see a sitting Compsognathus, which is adorable, but then you see this bit here where the Buck Rex and the Doe Rex are both feeding at the same time. The Buck Rex chucks the meat into the air, and then the Doe Rex and the Buck Rex, they kind of tear at the meat between them and split it in parts so they both get a bit. And of course, that is a reference to, a rather morbid reference really, to the death of Eddie in the Lost World Jurassic Park, where the two Rexes, these two same Rexes, approach him from either side, flip him up into the air, and then tear him apart, with some of the most horrific death noises in the entire series as well, it must be mentioned. First of all, it's really cool that they have a feeding animation. We're going to see more Rex interaction from the same video in just a second. I showed you an animation yesterday where the Rexes kind of scratch along the ground. They've got some really cool animations, but this is the first time we're seeing a feeding interaction animation like this between any dinosaur. It makes the Rexes more interesting. It's cool to see them feeding together and interacting, and it's a great reference to a very sad moment. To a hero, by the way, Eddie, the most heroic man in the history of Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. Just saying. Never mind Owen and his bloody raptor pack. Eddie, foot on the pedal, knows he's going to die, but trying to save his friends. Absolute monster of a man. But there is another animation I want to show you between the Rexes. Now, we did get a glimpse of this in the Frontier Species Field Guide, but we're about to see the entire animation play out. This is from the same video, by the way, from Zoof's video. Fantastic name. So, again, definitely go check out that video for yourselves down below. And this is, of course, the Rex play fighting animation between the two. They're kind of like moving their heads over the top of each other, kind of bumping each other out of the way. It's sort of a dominance display in a way, but it's also very playful and joyful in the way that animals often are. You know, they have fun by fighting each other. That's a very basal animalistic thing to do, and it's really cool again to see that behaviour come to life in the Rexes. This does seem to be their equivalent of, say, when the Pachycephalosauruses walk past each other and bump heads, so when the Coelophysis have that little jump thing. This one with the two scratching them, they're just, you know, they can't fight in a normal way, they can't bite each other, they'll die. So all they can do is bump into each other and use their massive heads to kind of knock each other to the side. It's just a really cool naturalistic animation, it's really nice realistic behaviour, and a very cool thing to see come to life in Evolution 2. This is probably the best thing about Evolution 2 for me so far, it's just the sheer added quantity of dinosaur animations that really brings them to life in a much more real way. You know what I'm like, and I say natural dinosaurs and behaviours and blah 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 blah. Well, it's going to be a thing again, and it's very, very much the case with Evolution 2. They really just add so much more personality to the dinosaurs, and that's super important. Anyway, that is it from me. Shout out again to Dead Dandyman, Swerve, Lady Designer, Zoof, and Geektown in particular for their fantastic interview. Definitely go check out all 5 of these videos, even if you just go chuck them a like really quickly down below. I will do the same. They all deserve it. Give them some love and attention. And yeah, we saw lots of really, really cool things, but more importantly, 2 new species confirmed, Leopleurodon and Elasmosaurus. Does that mean more flying as well? Because that brings us up to 7 aquatic species, if you include the mystery mosasaur as a separate one. So that would be 7. That would mean potentially 2 more flying creatures. Does that mean more dinosaurs as well? Because we have less terrestrial new dinosaurs than we do flying and aquatic. How many dinosaurs, how many creatures are going to be in this game? Who bloody knows, but I'm very excited. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you lovely folks next time. Cheers much love as always. Bye bye.